Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is like a draw with me kind of video. It's just like that's just a fancy way of saying it's like a speed draw. Um, Fun fact, I actually wanted to make this like same exact video but traditionally, and I actually did it and recorded it. Except that was like a freehand drawing, so it was like only with pen. So it was this thing where I just directly draw the thing without any sketching. So if you make a mistake, then you can't do anything about it. And I really like to challenge myself like that normally, but this time it went really bad. It turned out so ugly that I just didn't just didn't want to share it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do this digitally. So here is the digital version of that. Um, I have chosen to draw like this is first gonna be just this redraw of this like screenshot of Luffy and Zoro, because I have reached the Wano arc, and I I've just finished Act One of the Wano arc, and I want to talk about it. But I'm not gonna spoil anything because obviously not everyone has the time and patience to make it as far as Wano. As fast as I did. Although I didn't do it very fast compared to others. Like I have been watching One Piece for like a year and it took me that long to get to Wano. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not gonna say anything that's like major spoilery. I'm probably just gonna like only spoil like certain dumb shit or like comedic things. Like for example, I fucking loved the scene where Luffy and Zoro run into each other, and I love that Luffy fucking stole like this dangerous, deadly samurai sword, and he was just being so stubborn about it. Like he just did not want to give it back because he thought he like it was just that was so goofy. Um, and then he runs into Zoro, who actually knows things about swords, and Zoro wants to see the sword because he's like, oh, that's like, that's like such an interesting sword. There's something like sinister about it. Like, let me see it. And then Luffy goes, he just goes, no, I'm not gonna let you see it. And they have this like really childish argument, like fight over like wanting to see the sword and not wanting to give it, like for no fucking reason. He just wanted to be childish. And then when Luffy declares that this is going to be a sword fight when the enemy turns up, and he just starts fighting the way he normally does, just punching people. He's just holding a sword now. And it aggravates Zoro, who is like, that is not a sword fighting technique. Oh gosh, I'm loving this arc so much already. I love the little girl, Tama. I really like her. She's so adorable, so sweet. I loved her relationship with Luffy. And I think right now like I said, I've just finished Act One. Okay, no, I can't say the next bit I was gonna say because that would have been a bit of a spoil. It's not really a spoiler. It's just another dumb fucking thing. Oh, by the way, I am drawing Gear 5 Luffy simply because I love the design of Gear 5 Luffy. I think he's the most beautiful thing ever. But I have not reached that far. I don't know anything about Gear 5. I just know what it looks like. Anyway, I also unsurprisingly, because I'm such an unapologetic villain stan, I kind of like Kaido. I don't like him nearly as much as I like Dofi, which obviously Dofi has like become my favorite One Piece character. I'm obsessed with him, but I do like Kaido, not in the same way I like Dofi, because Dofi is an interesting, complex character. He's such a interesting villain, and such an interesting character in his own right. There's like so much going on here. By the way, ignore this, like Luffy looks really like lopsided and weird here. I am gonna fix it later on in the video. Anyway, yeah, but I do like Kaido so far. not for any like complex reasons. We haven't really seen any of that yet. I don't know what his backstory is. I don't know much about his deal, but I do like that he just has this like he has a tendency to get drunk and then just go on rampages when he's drunk. Like, it's similar to Big Mom and how her crew always has to like fucking babysit her. And like I got the same impression with Kaido when he I'm not going to spoil it, but like he just goes on this like rampage and his crew have to resort to like lying to him just to make sure he doesn't destroy like their valuable resources. I found that really funny. Like that sort of exactly it very, I would say it was like so similar to that scene where Peros Pero like lied to Big Mom that the Straw Hats had her cake just so she would go destroy the Straw Hats instead of destroying her own shit. Like the same exact thing, same exact vibe. And yeah, another thing I really liked fucking how absurd Law is, like, because he's he's very understandably pissed off that Luffy decided to show up and just like throw a wench in their plans, right, and just sort of ruin everything. But when he goes to like rectify the situation, when he goes to do damage control, because a certain one of Kaido's officers knows his face, I'm not gonna say who, he decides that okay, yeah, he knows my face, he's gonna recognize me, so I'm gonna go in disguise. And his fucking disguise is to just put like some like fucking bucket like thing over his head, and he steps right in front of that person. His tattoos are on full display. His fucking pirate logo on his kimono is on full display. He did not even think to hide those. Like, his fucking pirate logo is right there. And not to mention like the sword he carries, which and he like immediately uses his powers as well. So like, did you expect to not be recognized? Like, that was so stupid. Like, for such a smart character as well. But yeah, I mean that's exactly what he did in Dressrosa as well. Like, he put on this like stupid fucking mustache and expected it to work as a disguise. They're so dumb. They're all so dumb, and I love it. Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite gag whenever whenever any character needs to like disguise themselves, and it's always the most obvious disguise ever. But like, if Luffy is around, he will still fall for it. And like, on another note, I'm also starting to realize that I'm quite close to being caught up with One Piece. Like, you know how people start saying that it's not long enough? It feels like it's not long enough when you reach a certain point. And I think I'm starting to feel that. Like, it's starting to look extremely realistic that I'm going to catch up to this show extremely soon. Like, I know I've just started like Act 2 of Wano and it's like a really long arc. But I feel like I am going to make my way through this arc really quickly. Like, for one thing, the pacing is pretty good. There are so many, like, like fucking Dressrosa had awful pacing. I'm talking about the anime, it had like shit pacing. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that. But Wano has really good pacing, and it moves at like, very watchable rate. So I feel like I'm gonna make my way through this arc really quickly, and then before I know it, I'm gonna be in like Egghead or something. So maybe I need to like pace myself a little bit. Granted, I was mainly motivated by my exams to keep watching One Piece because it was like my study breaks. And when you're in like exam season, just any way of wasting time just hits different. It just like it's more addictive. Like, the screen time is more addictive. Like, the TV shows, all of a sudden you're interested in like watching everything that's new that you never would have like been interested in before. Yeah, I didn't start anything new, but I did like pick up One Piece again after like a long while of not watching it. And I just zoomed through like all these episodes. I finished Whole Cake Island and the first act of Wano in my exam season. Like, granted, it was a really long exam season, but I managed to get through it quite quickly. I realize I've said absolutely nothing about the piece I'm actually drawing. It's just a bunch of doodles, just whatever I felt like drawing. Yeah, there isn't much to say about it. They're just really rough doodles because I didn't put in a lot of time or effort. But yeah, it's just a recreational thing. Like, I wasn't drawing seriously. I'm rarely serious these days. It takes effort and energy that I don't have. I'm absolutely exhausted from just finishing my exams. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, because let me know if you want more of this style of videos where it's just like screen recorded draw with me's. I do want to do like a traditional one, but it's so difficult to like the setup to record them in the first place is so difficult, because I've got this like phone stand light thing that just keeps falling and it's so difficult to like adjust the zoom and get everything in frame. It's just an extra bit of effort. Meanwhile, with like drawing digitally, I can just do it anywhere, anytime, and it's easy. I can even like stop halfway through, do something in the middle, and just come back and just continue recording, which I can't do with the entire setup required for the traditional one. So yeah, I'll hopefully do like a sketchbook tour as well soon. My most recent sketchbook is not finished yet. There are quite a number of pages left, but I will do something about it. Maybe I'll make a video, like another draw with me, like a traditional one, just to like fill as much of that sketchbook as possible. I also need to do like some kind of art supply tour, because there's a lot of really old art supplies I've got that I haven't touched in ages, and I'm starting to get like curious about them again. Like, what if they're secretly really great? Also, I definitely don't need to spend more money on any new art supplies, because I've decided I'm not gonna buy new art supplies when I already have so much that I don't use. So I'm gonna start using them. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for making it this far. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed my yapping. And yeah, if you were like doing something productive or drawing or something during this video, I would love to see it.